as I remember this, because I rewatched it recently, JD Vance begins the disrespect with the propaganda tour. Before, it's just like a back and forth of facts, and then JD Vance says that like Zelensky's running propaganda tours, which is just disrespectful. Just frankly disrespectful. All right, Fox News time.
Make today about the minerals deal and the economic deal, and then get it signed and let negotiations play out over security guarantees step by step. Is that true?
I said that we have to sign this document, and we are ready for this, and this will be the first step to security guarantees, but it's not enough. I think so. Maybe I don't know something. I don't know some details. That's why I wanted to share it with the president, my thoughts, and to hear him again, because he has a plan how to stop Putin. And maybe, as I said, maybe it's out of...
And then on Fox, they ask him over and over if he'll apologize and if the U.S. relationship can be salvaged, and it's only until the very end his interpreter translates for him that he can answer the question properly. Really? Are you talking about this one? Spoiler alert! I'm joking. Putin is probably like, I never expected it to go this well. Dude, it's insane how well this is panned out for Putin. It's crazy.
Big conversations, but we have to share it. You know, this is so sensitive. You know, just a ceasefire without security guarantees, this is so sensitive for our people. I'm speaking like a president of a people who are in this struggle 3 years, and they just want to hear that America on our side and that America will stay with us, not with Russians, with us. That's it. But I'm sure that it will be. This is the first step to security guarantees. Europeans, we don't need to lose them. They are good allies for the United States. The United States is the most or the biggest donator of support and of peace. But we don't need to lose Europe, and they also want to know next steps. We have to be very open to understand how to stop the war.
Right. But do you think the public spat in the Oval Office in front of the media served Ukrainians well today?
I think this kind of spat is I mean, this we have. I mean, this is not good for both sides anyway, and I'm very open, but I can't, you know, change our Ukrainian attitude to Russia, and I don't want they kill us for us. You know, this is very, very clear that Americans are the best of our friends, Europeans are the best of our friends, and Putin with Russian, their enemies. And it doesn't mean that we don't want peace. We just want to recognize the reality, the real situation.
President Trump is convinced that you will never sign a deal with Vladimir Putin. Is he right?
No, I think so. What I think, Ukraine wants peace, and we will have anyway diplomacy. We will have negotiations. I only said that I think so. It's about just and lasting peace. It means that we have to be very strong at the table of negotiations, and at these negotiations, Ukraine and Russia, like sides of this war, have to be, and the United States and Europe. That's what I said. So we are ready for peace, but we have to be in strong position. What does it mean? Just to know that our army is strong, that our partners with us, and that we have security guarantees. Am I not right?
Leaving the White House today, President Trump said this.
He's looking to go on and fight. He wants to come back right now, but I can't do that.
What do you make of that? Do you want to continue fighting? Do you want peace? And if he had the opportunity to go back to the White House right now, would you do it?
No. First of all, we want peace. That's why I'm in the United States. That's why I visited President Trump. And thanks for invitation.
It'd be really cool to meet this guy. I think it'd be really cool to meet this guy, shake his hand. God. Like a bump in my arm that the doctor said was a calcium deposit. But dude, it's like crazy. I want it cut out of me so bad. It's insane how big it is. I'm worried it's cancer. I'm worried that my doctor didn't know what the fuck they were talking about.
Again, the deal on minerals is the first step to security guarantees. It's meant for the peace, closer to peace. That's why I'm here. And we have tough situation. To understand it is to be in Ukraine. You saw it, Brad. You was once. Thank you again. So I think that's very important to understand what's going on. But I respect my soldiers and our people, our civilians who work and support our warriors. I can't say just stop. Nobody will stop because everybody afraid that Putin will come back tomorrow. We want just and lasting peace. It's true. We want security guarantees. We raise this topic about NATO the quickest way, but not all the countries are on this side. I said, okay, if not NATO, nobody is pushing. If not NATO, let's build NATO in Ukraine. That's my position. Europeans are ready to have contingents on our territory, boots on the ground. United States thinks maybe to help, maybe USA backstop, have to be just to guarantee that they are with the Europeans. Look at Europe, it's strong, it became stronger, but they also want to have allies like the United States. That's what I said. I just want to understand what the peace. It's not my question, Brad. This is the question from all our people.
You mentioned when I traveled to the front lines with you last year to see the situation, to mark the anniversary of the war, and this is what you told me back then.
Will Ukrainians survive without Congress support? Of course, but not all of us. It will be tragedy for all of us, not only for Ukraine, not only for Ukrainians, for all Europe. Yeah.
So the question today is, can Ukraine win this war or hold off Russia without continued U.S. support?
It will be difficult for us. That's why I'm here. That's why we speak about the future negotiations. It will be difficult without your support, but we can't lose our values, our people. We can't lose our freedom. So a lot of people, Russians came to our territory, you know it. Russians came to our houses, and everybody know, everybody saw it, video, images, a lot of things. They killed so many people. Just to forget it, just to say that Putin is a great guy? No, without us. We don't want it. That's why we speak about, you know, everybody remembered how it was the first days of the war, how they came. Nobody wants in Ukraine, yes, of course, nobody will forget it, but nobody wants to have, again, new wave of occupation. That's why when we say, no NATO, what security guarantees can we have? I'm not pushing, we are not pressuring, we're just asking, we're just sharing very clear messages to our friends, to Americans.
Right.
If you stay with us, thank you so much, but let's do the infrastructure of security guarantees. Let's just share with our people, just with our people, that America, stay with us. That's great. We count on it, but just to share.
What are the exact security guarantees that they're looking for, out of curiosity? None of this would be happening if World War II vets were still around and not 95 plus. True. And I live in Hungary, and I thought you would, or we have a retarded leader, but what the fuck? How can people be so stupid to elect somebody like Trump? I mean, just listening to him talking for 2 minutes, you should be sure that he is mentally challenged and narcissistic. I mean, frankly, it's just the hypnotizing of the Republican and conservative base, right? They've been hypnotized by Republican pundits and fucking scumbags to believe that Trump is in any way like anti-establishment, or he's going to shake things up and he's going to make, you know, your life better. That's just what it is. We Democrats didn't do a good enough job putting out like pro-democratic messages, is what it seems like to me. Because anti-Trump messaging, I feel like, lost us the 2016 election, where we were just like anti-Trump or whatever, and it ended up boosting his popularity. We needed more coverage on Biden's accomplishments, on stuff like that. And then I also think we needed a change up of leadership. I don't think it should have been Kamala Harris. Kamala. I don't think it should have been her. What did you put in your water? Lean? Yes. No, I didn't. The record. It's flavored drink mix.
Share it and to say it, that's all.
How does the war end? How do you get to a deal? You're at a place right now where there is no deal. How do you get it back on track?
I think that Europe is ready for contingents and to help us with financing of big army, such big as we have now. This is our army is the part of security guarantees. Now we want to just to find the place for our biggest strategic partner, for the United States, or United States will propose where and how the United States will give us security guarantees, what kind of and what part of volume of security guarantees. And when we will be ready with this, we will come to diplomacy.
Yeah, I'm forgetting, but I think he says exactly what he's looking for in the lexicon, though. But I could be wrong about that. Yeah, it's all inflamed to the worst degree by our reps blatantly lying like never before, and the media being so soft. These motherfuckers complain about the American left media, but oh man, they fucking freak out if we had EU standards. Yeah, that's just what it, like, genuinely, I think Asmongold said the mentality. I think it was Asmongold. Don't hard quote me on it. But some big Twitch streamer said something that encapsulates what I think a lot of American public that are conservative believe that is not true, which is if you don't watch the news, you're uninformed, and if you watch the mainstream news, you're misinformed. It's just not true, unless it's Fox News. And then Fox News, I would say that, and my proof of that is them having the largest defamation case, found liable for the largest defamation case in, like, I think it was the largest in U.S. history, or it's close, at nearly $1 billion, because they lied about the Dominion voting machines when they knew that it was reliable, but they lied and said it was unreliable. But outside of it, most mainstream news publications get it right. Just straight up, most do. Most get it right most of the time. Most get it right most of the time. Now, are you going to get it right all the time? No, but most get it right most of the time. You're going to have an understanding. And a lot of it is calling Trump out and stuff on his lies.
To diplomacy, yes, with Russians, Europeans, United States, and we. Four of us, I think this is real way, because with weapon, it's too long. It's not enough.
Largest ever? Was it? I thought there was one that was a little bit bigger. Yeah, even though Fox was sued to hell and lost and is considered entertainment, it's LMAO. It's so fucking painful. Yeah, it's crazy. This is a real black pill. Fact checking these things is not very hard. The problem is when you believe that every single source you could possibly find is wrong, except for the ones that agree with you. That's the problem. Fact-checking everything is actually pretty easy if you actually have a couple of sources that you think are reliable. And even if you don't, there are some things that you can track back to, like, government documents. And if you think that even government documents are forged and independent journalists are, like, forged, at that point, you're just an infinite skeptic and you're only going to believe what you want to believe. You're literally only going to believe what you want to believe. And you're just as bad as any propagandist you think you're criticizing. You're just as bad as any of them. Hassan, Trump, Alex Jones, Joe Rogan, whoever you could think of as, like, the big bad, you're just as bad as any of them. Probably worse. Especially in comparison to, like, Hassan. Because I don't think Hassan is as bad as half of those people. I just think he says wild shit.
Don't have enough weapon to push them out, and we don't see now. For now, we don't see really big volume of new support from the United States, but with all respect again. So for today, we'll be ready with security guarantee. Really, when I say NATO, it's not about that we are focusing on this word. It's about very understandable infrastructure of security guarantees. And we see that no NATO countries for today, no NATO countries been under attacks.
Senator Lindsey Graham, Republican from South Carolina, he has been a big proponent of you and of Ukraine, said this today after the meeting.
I have never been more proud of the president. I was very proud of JD Vance. standing up for our country. We want to be helpful. What I saw in the Oval Office was disrespectful.
Who do I think lies more, Alex Jones or Hassan? Without a doubt, Alex Jones. Listen, I don't like Hassan, but he gets a lot of his information factually right. There's a lot of information he gets factually right. What's wrong is usually when he's coming to interpret things, like give opinions on a lot of facts. There's a lot of facts that he gets that are right. Now, there's also a couple of facts that we can remember, namely that he gets wrong. But a lot of things like who somebody was at a specific date, I actually think he's pretty good at that. I think he has a sharp memory for remembering who this senator was and where they were in 2016, do whatever. He's pretty sharp about that. The problem is when he has to interpret things, usually.
I was very proud of JD Vance, standing up for our country. We want to be helpful. What I saw in the Oval Office was disrespectful, and I don't know if we can ever do business with Zelensky again. He either needs to resign and send somebody over that we can do business with, or he needs to change.
So he says you need to consider resigning. Is that on the table?
I don't know if he will be happy after my words. This decision can do only people of Ukraine.
You're not going to step down to do a peace deal.
No, I was always ready. I'm not sure that is a good idea for this such proposals. But anyway, I always said if United States will support NATO, so I think that it's enough for Ukraine. So I think I did all I had to do. And if somebody is not this happy with me, okay. But between us, yes, Americans vote for American president. Each European country vote for their president, and only Ukrainian. With all respect to Lindsay, if I can say Lindsay, we know each other, yes, and only Ukrainians.
Democrats
vote for their president.
Democrats have had the opposite reaction to the Oval Office meeting. Democratic Senator Chris Murphy from Connecticut.
Oh, whoops, my bad. I was just reading Short Stack Goblin's response. Where you said essentially Hassan gets domestic facts right, but international facts wrong. Yeah, I would say his shortcoming is international facts. For sure. I mean, I think he still does know a lot of international facts, like numerically. But he does say a lot of things and present them as facts that are incorrect. For international issues, I agree. Zelensky has never expressed an unwillingness to step down. God damn it, dude, this stuff is so unserious. Yeah, and I mean, there was a couple of times that he said that, like, if America is willing to give NATO guarantees or serious, security guarantees and that peace, like a actual lasting peace thing, he would step down. I don't know for how long or whatever, because I wouldn't imagine he would keep that consistently, like, forever, right? Like, if they get a lasting peace in a year, is he gonna step down? I don't know. But I think he was saying that because there was arguments that he was some dictator that wanted to keep power forever. And truthfully, I think if there was a conditional, I think it would do it instantly. I firmly believe that if Zelensky was given, hey, Ukraine could be a part of NATO, but Zelensky, you have to go and hold an election, he'd be like, sure. I think he would instantly be like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. I do not see him saying no. It would just be really weird. I could not see him saying no to that.
It posted this. What just happened in the Oval Office was a planned ambush designed to help a brutal Russian dictator and hurt America's security. Trump has become Putin's lapdog, and America's global power is hemorrhaging as America sides with dictators over democracy. What an embarrassment.
Here's the problem. That's true, but he's putting Zelensky in a very difficult spot because now diplomacy has to kick in, right? We'll see how Zelensky responds to this, but Zelensky can't say, yeah, that's true, even though it is true. Like, Zelensky can't be like, yeah, that's true, because he needs Trump in his small fucking... I was going to say, bro, he needs Trump in his ego to not be bruised. in order to actually get something to move forward and get something off the ground. So we'll see how Zelensky responds to this, but I firmly believe that this is base. This is a true statement. The dude was an actor before the war, not a career politician. He's probably tired of this shit. I don't know. I truly don't know. But one thing I feel pretty confident about is I feel pretty confident that Zelensky does love Ukraine and want the best for Ukraine. And if him stepping down is a conditional for peace, I'm pretty sure he would do it. Now, whether or not, if there was peace brokered independent of him stepping down, would he step down? I think he would probably, there would be an election, and I wouldn't be surprised if he ran again. I wouldn't be surprised. But if the condition is you cannot run again and you have to step down, I think he wouldn't fight that. I think he would be like, yeah.
Do you think the confrontation in the Oval Office today was pre-planned, like Senator Murphy suggests?
I don't know.
You don't know? You think maybe?
I don't know. No. I don't. I mean, this. I don't know about it. I think no. I think it was just a really tough situation because we've been very open, very direct.
What set you off? What made you mad? Because they said your tenor and tone set that.
It's not about mad. It's not, Brad. You see, how to say, when you are in the United States, and for example, president or vice president or somebody or senators, it doesn't matter, big politicians, yes, when they, for example, say that Ukraine is almost destroyed, that our soldiers run away, that they are not heroes, that Ukraine lost millions of civilians, that his president is dictator, you know? What is the reaction? It's not about me. The reaction is that where is our friendship between Ukraine and the United States? That's it. This is filling. And that's why I do not want to lose our great partners at the United States. And I just said that it's not the first time. I said it by phone, and we had some other conversations, and we had in Munich meetings, and I said, please, be correct. Just, I want to be very polite. I mean this, be correct with this number. When you say about the number, each person is important. When you say about 1 million of losses, we don't have any million of losses. Just when you speak about the territories, maybe some territories and etc., it's not just territory, it's houses, it's people's lives. You know, their fathers, mother, their relatives, grandfather, they died or this. I mean, this during this war. Nobody wants to forgive Putin. It's not funny, you know, or fairy tale. This is real life. That's right. What I said. And when you said it, a lot of times to my big friends who've been here today in our dialogue, and then they again begin to repeat the same things, I think it's not. I mean, this. That's why I said it's not good way between partners, good partners and friends. That's it. And I think that if journalists asking questions to president, with all respect to vice president, I mean, this he has his interview. This is
Haven't we sent more aid to Ukraine than any other country? We have. We have sent more aid to Ukraine than any other country. The problem is that Trump makes the claim that we sent more aid than Europe, which, as far as I'm aware, is not true. We have not sent more aid than all of Europe.
Shouldn't this dynamic, if you're going to be like this, be behind closed doors? Not.
Of course.
So do you regret that? Are you regretting that that happened today?
He didn't initiate it. He didn't initiate it. The initiation of the disrespect, because I watched it back, and maybe we would do well to watch it back as well again. Actually, let's just watch it back right now.
This thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough.
As I remember this, because I rewatched it recently, JD Vance begins the disrespect with the propaganda tour. Before, it's just like a back and forth of facts, and then JD Vance says that like Zelensky's running propaganda tours, which is just disrespectful. Just frankly disrespectful.
This thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred, and I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, you know, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. But you're never going to get a deal that way. So that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
I will respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the President of the United States' words mattered more than the President of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact line?
2015.
2014.
2014 and 2014.
2014.
Yeah. So
I was not here.
Yeah, but
that's exactly right.
Yes, but during 20.
Dude, I'm sorry. Little petty thing here. Trump says that like he's like a dementia-ridden old person. He's like, "Oh, I wasn't there. I don't remember that. I wasn't there." I don't know why. Every time I see him say that, he feels like a lost old person in like Walmart. Which is sad. Honestly, it's sad, but like crazy. That's my president.
14 till 2022, yeah, the situation the same. The people have been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversation, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him, me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it.
My Discord.
What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys.
What? Isn't that literally what they're here for?
Guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say?
And Russia isn't conscripting? Like the idea that you wouldn't need to conscript people to be a part, or you wouldn't need to bring in people to fight a war that will literally terminate your country? Yeah, like, of course you are. And there's also a tremendous amount of people that are actually fighting the war, you know, on their own merits, like they just want to. The idea is this supposed to be like a dig that Russia isn't conscripting people to invade another country? But also beyond it, he's not being disrespectful. There was nothing disrespectful about what he said. He's literally just like, hey, you guys are talking about diplomacy. We tried diplomacy. He broke the ceasefires. He didn't exchange prisoners when he was supposed to. This idea that you can just be diplomatic with these guys, no. Because Zelensky's point through this entire ordeal and through these back and forths is that Russia cannot be trusted just with their word. Russia cannot be trusted with just writing on the dotted line. You can't do it. You need guarantees. You need things that will permanently prevent them from coming into Ukraine. That's what you need. And then JD Vance just shits his fucking diaper.
What problems we have.
I have been to.
Count once.
I've actually watched
Problems we have.
the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Count once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
We have problems.
And do you think that
This is where I feel like the actual disrespect starts, because Zelensky's like, yo, have you even been to the country to see what problems we have? You're talking about us having conscription and having problems with like manpower. Have you even been to the country to see what problems we have? And then JD Vance goes like, I'm not going to go on your propaganda tours. Listen, I haven't been to your country. I've seen videos. Like, bro, what? This dude is literally shitting his diaper. That is incredibly disrespectful. It is obvious that JD Vance starts the disrespect. He escalates the situation, cries when Zelensky is just like, yo, this guy, you can't just expect to take him at his word. You literally can't do it. We have a past of doing it. We tried it. It doesn't work. We need guarantees, right? This diplomacy that you guys are referring to, the reason why I'm not going along with just any old ceasefire and I need extra stuff is because we tried that. And then JD Vance is like, no. That is completely inappropriate. That's crazy for you to say that you tried diplomacy before without guarantees in front of the American media. It's gross that you did that. Like, this guy's a fool.
it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
Where's the attack?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know
bless.
that.
You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on
position
this
to
question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly what
this.
you're doing.
I'm not
You're in
dictating.
no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very
you will
good.
Feel influenced.
We're going to feel very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you.
strong.
This is so stupid. I like it how Trump is like, yo, we're going to take $500 billion worth of minerals from you guys, give you no security guarantees. I like it how he's saying these things. And he's also like, oh, yeah, by the way, if Russia were to just take over your guys' stuff, if Russia were to be successful in this, we're going to feel totally good. We're going to feel totally fine. Really? So like an American adversary getting $500 billion worth of rare earth minerals in a fuck ton of new land and cucking a Western or liberal country. That's just cool. That isn't going to affect America at all. That isn't going to affect Europe at all. It's not going to affect us at all. Like, bro, this guy, and he's like losing his mind over this. It is obvious this would affect us. It's affecting us right now. Right? Like, bro, it's so cringe. It's so cringe. It's so cringe.
Will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not
Mr.
in a good
Brown,
position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having
not
cards.
playing cards.
Right now, you don't.
I'm very
You're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're
I'm
gambling
the
with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War III.
what you're
You're
speaking about?
gambling with
What you're
World
speaking
War
about?
III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country,
I'm
that's
with
back
all
to you,
respect to your
far
country.
more than a lot of people said
very
they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once this
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting,
today.
have you said thank
Even
you?
today.
You went to Pennsylvania.
Dude, this shit triggered me the most when I was watching it and looking back at it. Did you say thank you once? Why? What? First of all, I think he has even to this administration, but even beyond, he has said thank you to America multiple times before. Why would he say thank you, though, genuinely? Why would he say thank you to Trump? Trump isn't giving all of this aid. It's Congress. Most of the aid is coming from Congress, right? There is some presidential drawdown authority. We looked into it or whatever. I don't even know how much Trump is appropriated. Number one, though, Trump called Zelensky a dictator, has been glazing Putin, and then also these guys have been shitting on the aid that has actually already gone out to Zelensky as being shit from Biden. It was bad. It was a bad move. The aid shouldn't have gone out. It was the dog shit Biden administration who gave all of this aid to Ukraine. So why would he say thank you to Trump, who's saying that the aid that Ukraine was given was bad, calling Zelensky a dictator, glazing Putin, and then trying to extort them for $500 billion of rare earth minerals? The only reason he would say thank you is for PR. That's it. There is nothing to be thankful about to the Trump administration from Zelensky. It's insane. But he has said thank you to the American people many different times.
And campaign for the opposition in October, offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America in October. Offer some. You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation.
Yeah, I wonder why. Maybe it's because the opposition, meaning the Democrats, were not Putin puppets. Maybe that's the reason why. There's a reason why Putin wanted Trump to win every single time he ran. You think that Putin he just rolled the dice? Oh, each time it just happened to roll on Trump. I don't know why we want Trump to win. I don't know why we're spending millions of dollars during an all-out war to get this guy elected, to get this dude elected. I don't know why in the middle of a war that they're getting absolutely fucked, they're spending millions of dollars in foreign interference to be able to get this guy elected. I couldn't imagine why. I could not imagine why.
For the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war,
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Can I answer?
Wait a minute. No. You've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
you haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet.
You haven't been alone.
In this cabinet.
We gave you, through this stupid president, $350 billion.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military equipment.
Total lie, by the way. Literally asked. I looked around where he got $350 billion. Nobody could source me where he got $350 billion. At my wit's end, I literally asked ChatGPT and Grok, Elon Musk's fucking AI, that Elon Musk, the same guy who glazes this guy every day, both of them said, we don't know. Literally, both of the AI said, we actually have no understanding of where he got $350 billion. Even in theory. Their theories, I'm not joking, were that he doubled the amount of money, and it was just an error that he doubled it and then just went with that number and constantly repeats it, or that he is double checking the amount of aid that's been dispersed as well as the amount of aid that's appointed. So they literally are just like, we have no idea. Maybe he just made an accounting error. That is the best that we have. They have no idea. Nobody has any idea where he got $350 billion. It's double any number that is officially sourced anywhere at all. It's insane.
And your men are brave, but they had to use our military.
You think I'm lying? Ask AI right now. I'm not joking. Pause the video. If you're watching a video, pause the stream, do whatever. Ask AI right now, where did Donald Trump get $350 billion for Ukrainian aid? It will literally say, I don't know. I'm not joking. Go ahead, try it. I tried it. I was like, I was dumbfounded. I was like, oh, I can't find it. I Googled everywhere. I couldn't find it. If you look it up on AI, it'll literally be like, we don't know. It was probably an accounting error. It's crazy.
If you didn't have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days. I heard it from Putin. In 3 days. This is something
maybe
new.
Less.
In 2 weeks. Of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this.
Again,
I tell you.
just say thank you.
I said a lot of times to American people.
Accept that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I understand, sir.
I think it's very important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the cards.
Probably him just saying all aid Ukraine has ever gotten, including from Europe, Even so, that's a lot closer. All aid that's ever gone to Ukraine is between, I believe, 360 billion and 380 billion dollars. So it's possible that he looked at that number and just thought it was exclusively the US. For Wikipedia, he's basically taking ownership of Europe's share. I think by March 2024, most Western governments had pledged more than 380 billion worth of aid to Ukraine since the invasion. Trump took it out of pocket. Be careful. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, so Wikipedia is that saying that he's taking ownership for literally all of the Western countries' shares of this. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the idea of where he got 350 billion, and even still, that's not 350 billion. But sure, you could grant 350 billion plus. There is nowhere you can source that America has given 350 billion. That is the closest thing that I saw as well, is the idea that all aid, because to my knowledge, all aid is roughly actually 380 billion. But that's of March. I'm talking about even earlier or whatever, was near that number. But even still, if you look up like right now, that number is not, it's not the same. So you either have to take all aid on earth given to Ukraine and say America did it, at which point I don't even know where you would get versus Europe, or you just have to just double, which AI at least said that that's where they thought he got his numbers, because you can find official numbers from like 19 different government sources. I looked through it. There's like 19 different government documents that show how much money goes to Ukraine. It's extensive. The documentation, I was amazed at how much documentation tells you where the money is coming from, where the money is going to Ukraine. It is crazy how many documents you have that show you where your money is going to help Ukraine. So yeah, none of it shows anywhere in the ballpark of 300 billion. None of it, to be clear, none of it shows over 200 billion. None of it touches 200 billion. It's crazy.
You're buried there. Your people are dying. You're running low on soldiers. Listen, you're running low on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing. And then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I want this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
With guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't with me.
For you what
that wasn't with me. That was with a guy named Biden, who was not a smart person. That was with Obama.
It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Mr. Vice President. I'm sorry.
It's going to be a tough deal to make, because the...
What a crazy little guy there, just constantly complaining about Zelensky, in his mind, not showing enough appreciation. Absolutely insane. EU spent more than we have, LMAO. We've just the largest single country. Right. It's also pledged a lot more. Like, its pledging is way more than us. If you total pledges and stuff that's been appropriated, I think it's double. I think if you take the EU's pledges, like how much they say they're going to allocate, as well as what's actually been appropriated for being set to be dispersed, I think it's like double.
Regretting.
Doors, not.
Of course. And
so do you regret that? Are you regretting that happened today?
He has his interview.
Mr.
This is our dialogue.
Shouldn't this dynamic, if you're going to be like this, be behind closed doors, not
Of course. And
so do you regret that? Are you regretting that that happened today?
Regretting? Yes, I think it was not good. I think it was not good because we had a lot of different dialogues. I'm always open to media, but there are very sensitive things. I just want to be honest, and I just want our partners to understand the situation correctly, and I want to understand everything correctly. That's about us. Not to lose our friendship.
A couple more things. What are the next steps in your mind? Here we are today.
Yeah.
What are the next steps?
I think so. United States wanted this deal very much, and we've been not against this deal, but we wanted to understand what parts in security guarantees will take this deal and what next steps. Just again to understand for our people, during the war, what you don't like, even sometimes hate, surprises. It's understandable. Many terrible things this war brought to us. So we don't want any surprises. Yes, that's why we want to be very fair with our partners. And I think this deal, it was prepared by teams. It was not simple during weeks. And now it's ready. I think that they have to sign. The countries have to sign. The ministers have to sign. That's it. I don't know when they will do it. It depends on the American side.
So
exactly.
the minerals deal did not have security guarantees listed in it.
It's a part.
The security guarantees?
This is the part in the infrastructure of security guarantees. Because, for example, President Trump shared that. I think so that if it will be.
See, at times they have to translate for him to answer properly. Yeah, I mean, I don't doubt that he's going to need several moments where they're going to need to translate for him. You know, I'm curious to see, like what you were talking about, where his answer significantly changes, possibly at the end, but also, or not significantly changes, but just gets more clear. Also, I am kind of surprised at how decent his English is, to be honest. He has obviously a very heavy accent, but I feel like he's able to communicate some ideas pretty well. Like, I don't think he speaks English like poorly. There's a lot of people in Europe who know how to speak English and know how to speak English even better than this, but I'm just kind of surprised because I just feel like I'm so used to a lot of leaders speaking whatever language they typically speak and then having a translator do all the rest.
There in some productions and etc. in minerals that Putin will never come on this territory where we are. And I said to him, don't trust Putin. Why? I said, because it's not, I mean we respect and we believe in strongness of the United States, but I said to him that we had more than 20 companies, American companies, big companies on the territory of Ukraine. And we had offices, even on temporary occupied territories. For Putin, it doesn't matter. It's American, European company or Ukraine, it doesn't matter. He just came and occupied it. That's what I said. I think this is a great idea, how to strengthen Ukraine and how to make business between two countries, how to make additional jobs for two countries. But it's not just these will not save us.
I read what the Democratic senator said, that Trump has become Putin's lapdog. Do you agree with that President Trump is too close to Vladimir Putin in your mind?
We spoke about it, and I think today very openly President Trump, he said that I want to be in the middle, otherwise I will not put these guys at the table.
And is he right?
I want to be very honest, I want really him to be more at our side. I will explain why. Because it's not just that the war began somewhere between our countries. The war began when Russia brought this war to our country, and they are not right. And they are not right. They didn't respect our territorial integrity. They brought the war on our territory to our families. Sorry for repeating, to our houses. And they are not right. And of course, all the Ukrainians want to hear strong position of the United States on our side. from one side, it's understandable. From another side, he wants to find some way of dialogue with Putin. But he always said, as I remember, he always said that peace through strength. And that's why I think that he's strong, United States strong, two parties together in this question, two parties always together against Russia. You're very strong to do.
This is what I was talking about. Like, he can't answer these questions super honestly, and I'm actually kind of surprised the lengths at which he's saying these things, because the answer is, again, Trump is Putin's lapdog. Trump is doing everything Putin wants him to do. There is a reason why Putin spent so much money and resources influencing our elections constantly for Trump. You think he just does that for no reason? You think in the middle of a fucking war, he's just going to, oh, I'm just going to spend a whole bunch of money and resources boosting Trump's campaign? You think he just randomly does that? You think that's just something he casually does? No, he did it for a reason, right? And we know the reason because of our intelligence communities. It's to destabilize the U.S. and make exactly things like this happen, where the U.S. is no longer interested projecting soft or hard power anywhere on the, outside of itself. So Russia and, its interests can be furthered on the global stage. That's the reason why. Our intelligence showed us Russia believes that Trump will destabilize the United States. I mean, it's obvious and it's correct.
Strong steps against Putin.
Americans are worried about where the money has gone.
Yeah.
Will there be a very rigorous accounting of where the money has gone? It seems like there is some question about whether there's corruption or sold military equipment.
No, it can't be so. 100 billions we've got during 3 years.
183 from the U.S.
Yeah. Now, on the paper, in the documents, yes, but we have, in fact, because 67 came like a weapon. It came through the border. It's checked and it's fixed by everybody, and we shared it not once with the American side. And 31.5, it was direct financial support to the budget. Again, it's very open. It's digitalized. It's open, free, and please, if somebody wants to check it again, we are very, very open with this.
Last thing, Mr. President.
Yeah.
Do you think your relationship with Donald Trump, President Trump, after today, can be salvaged?
Can be. Yes, of course, because it's relations more than two presidents. It's the historical relations, strong relations between our people. And that's why I always...
This is to be honest, he doesn't need as much stronger relations with the president as much as he needs it to be popular in Congress for this funding to go through. However, it is possible, as I spoke with Lonerbox about it, and he brought up the really good point, that Trump exactly isn't concerned with what's illegal for him to do. The reason why I say Congress is because Congress earmarks which funds are going to go in Ukrainian aid packages. There's some things that the president delegates and stuff like that, and it's actually a fair sum of money that the president can help push forward for the aid. But ultimately, it's Congress who appoints, the money to be spent on Ukraine. The issue with this, though, is that, yet again, Trump, not above doing things that he's not allowed to do, and just it will probably stop funds to Ukraine if he feels like, they shouldn't go there. And on top of that, these people will fall in line with what Trump says pretty much no matter what. So a lot of the people in Congress, obviously Republicans. So getting, a couple Republicans on the margin of like, hey, we should be pro-Ukrainian, and their constituents putting pressure on them to be pro-Ukrainian might allow for funding to go that way. We'll see.
Began with to thank your people from our people. And this is the most important. And of course, thankful to President and of course to Congress, but first of all to your people. Your people help to save our people. People, the first. human rights, the first. This is very, very important, and we are thankful and sorry for this. I mean, we wanted very much to have only strong relations, and I'm very calm that we will have it.
Mr. President, we're honored that you kept this interview. Thank you very much for the time.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
As opposed to what? Did he not keep other interviews? All right.